on the surface, American Psycho is about a wealthy banker in New York City who, at night, murders a lot of prostitutes and homeless people. But it's much more than that, and there's a lot of great themes written by the original author of the novel, Bret Easton Ellis, and it's translated to the film in a good short way that really shows what the book actually is. I've read the book personally, and I hate all those people who are like, the book's better than the movie. I don't want to compare that, and the movie really really shows the essence of the film American Psycho. Welcome to HASSDISCUSSES. We are joined by Drew Dumchus. I'm the host of my cast. We're going to be talking about the 2000 film American Psycho. So, Drew, tell me about the first time you've ever seen this movie. What was your first thoughts on watching it? Because I know me and you have both rewatched this movie a million times, you know?
So yeah, you're right. I've probably watched the movie over 15 times. And the first watch, I was like, oh, this is funny. This is crazy. Christian Bale's some crazy guy. This could have been Batman in some alternate timeline. But, after layers of watching, I start to realize the anti-capitalist, anti-consumerist, anti-yuppie culture of the 80s messages I'm getting from this video or movie. So, I ran out of things to say.
Yeah, so Bret Easton Ellis's movie. I'll cut it. Bret Easton Ellis is known for he has a lot of similar themes in his movies, and Less Than Zero was very similar to this. But it had fucking Robert Downey Jr. as the main character, and he shows a lot of what he did not like growing up, and the movie's not about one single thing. It's more of just a scattered array of things that all have one special meaning to it. And as the book is, when you read the book and you watch the movie, it's almost just like a lot of small journal entries of this guy's day, and you really don't know if is it in his head? Is it not in his head? Is it here's what Drew has to say.
So, in the movie, Patrick Bateman himself says that he's an idea. He's not a person. You may shake his hand and feel flesh, but he's not a person. He's an entity. He's a conglomerate of thoughts and emotions and anger, and he's really just a personality that was especially prominent back in the 80s with all these basic office job yuppie people. And the reason why this is so important coming out in the year 2000 is because all the movies coming out in this Y2K period, turn of the century, it's all people living in office jobs, doing day-by-day 9-to-5 work, but they have something weird happen. Your Fight Club, you're being John Malkovich.
Office Space,
Office
The Matrix.
Space, The Matrix. All those movies share something. And American Psycho kind of captures that essence as well, but it's darker.
It is darker. I mean, this is not a kid's movie, obviously, but you don't want to watch this with anybody else unless it's your buddies. It's not something you want to show your family. It's just let's get into how this movie just starts off. We're gonna do full spoiler discussion. Yeah, he doesn't like a good spoiler talk. So the moment I first saw the first scene in the club, when he goes to pay the girl the ticket for the drink, and he's like, hey, something beer, and then she's like, no, we don't accept those tickets, it's a cash bar, and he says, you're a fucking ugly bitch, I want to stab you to death and play around with your blood. At the moment I first saw that, I was like, the fuck am I watching? In an amazing way, in an intriguing way. It was like, damn, bro, who says that? Is that what is in his head? Is that what he's thinking in his head about this girl who did not want him to buy for that drink? Or is really what he said to her, and that he just has such a wealthy status that nobody's going to do shit about it?
And what's even weirder about that is, it clearly says it at a pretty loud volume, and she doesn't pay any attention. That's a lot of events in this movie. He kills a homeless man on the streets of New York, and somehow nobody notices. He does all these crazy things. He kills way more prostitutes in a huge hotel.
Dude, my favorite part is when he's breaking up with his girlfriend, and he just whispers to the side, but she could obviously hear it, and she's like, I want to kill, but he says, I need to commit homicide on a massive scale, really loud. And then the amount of insensitivity this guy's so insensitive to the people around him, it's hilarious. But he has moments of heart, with his girl a little bit. There is a little bit of
but it's all a facade.
You see
that breaks near the end of the movie.
He breaks. He totally breaks. He just cracks a fucking egg, Especially when shout out to Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem.
Best actor of all time.
Willem, not William. I made that mistake, and I've been punished for it. say no, fuck out of here. Anyways, yeah, Willem Dafoe's in this. Willem Dafoe's in everything. Jesus. Did you know Willem Dafoe was in this movie?
So basically, Willem Dafoe just plays this detective. It's a really minor role. He only has 2 scenes, but they're both pivotal scenes in the movie where Patrick Bateman, Christian Bale's character, gets questioned about the murders he committed. The first time, he's really not knowing. He's like, I don't know if he did it. The second time, he clearly knows that he did these crimes, or maybe he's a figment of his imagination or something like that. But, it just adds to the tension of the movie. Eventually, when Patrick Bateman does explode and go full bonkers.
Yeah, so all those like film essays and all those people that are all just like, it was all just an imagining in his head. It's all just fake and it's all just some daydream. Fuck out of it. Shut the fuck up. It could be. I'm not the person who wrote the movie, but I dislike that theory, and I like to trace it back to the idea that he is an idea, that he is like almost an archetype of the 80s wealthy man. Yeah. And I like that. And I think that everything in the movie that happens is real. And I don't like the theories that it's fake. And I feel like that when people seem to not notice things in the movie, that it's because they don't want to have anything a part of it, and they're too greedy and don't want to get involved in something potentially helping someone that was killed, or that was like for instance at the end when Paul Allen was killed in the house that he was in, right, where a lot of bodies were stored, and Patrick Bateman brought a lot of prostitutes in there, they're killed, they're dead, yeah, whatever, bang. But when he finds out that a realtor just cleared it all out and that there is no bodies there and shit, and it's all been cleared out, and she's having people go into the house that there was a lot of murders, and he's kind of like, what? Like, what happened? And the audience is like, what happened here? From her performance, she doesn't want anything from what I saw in this character, she didn't want anything to have a part of it. She did not want she just disposed of the bodies, let them go, and used it to sell for her own self-benefit. What is Drew's take on this part of the movie?
I agree with what you're talking about. This movie's really just anti-consumerist. Patrick Bateman, when he goes into the hotel and sees that it's completely empty, all the blood is gone, all the bodies are gone, that could be 2 ways. Either he is insane and none of those murders ever happened, or people just covered the thing up and they're just selling the apartment, because they want to make money. They're about money. They don't want to tell people that a murder happened there,
And I think if you disassociate this movie as mindless junk and killing, it's not that. When you tie this movie to the themes, this scene is obviously showing that it's not mindless junk and that he's not just somebody who's doing all this shit in his head, that it is real, and this lady realtor is doing this all for her self-benefit. And that's really just like a interpretation that many people have stated, and it falls in the line of shitty theories about everything not being real, and I genuinely hate those theories. They suck. Facts.
Okay, but
facts.
Going back to what Mike said earlier before,
I wish the sequel trilogy of Star Wars was not real though.
You're right. Patrick Bateman, being the embodiment of the 80s yuppie culture, the rich young businessman. Look at all the other characters, with the exception of one dude. Everyone has the same haircut, wears the same glasses, has the same suit, has the exact identical...
Marcus Halberstram.
And of course, Paul Allen. They all have the same business card, everything.
Dude, the business card scene is priceless, and the sound effects when they're shifting from fucking each other.
Sounds like a sword being unsheathed, because that's how important just a slight difference in the coloring or the tint or the font is to them.
Yes,
their lives are so similar that they have to make a big deal out of the smallest thing. That's really what that culture is.
Yeah. There's so many just key moments that everybody remembers, especially when he's like, when he tells people his often, he's like, I don't fucking care about what you have to say, and I want to get out of this conversation. He says, I have to return some videotapes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need that on a fucking t-shirt.
Movie with lots of memorable lines and scenes. It's a great movie if you just want to watch it and just have it in the background and be like, oh, there's that one scene, because there's so many of those.
If you're not if you're not somebody who likes these thematic movies with having to be explained and shit, this is a very thematic movie, and while it does have a lot of entertainment value, it's not structured the way normal movies are. There's not like a protagonist, antagonist. The main character is the antagonist to himself and others, and he causes his own pain and suffering. That guy's a pedophile. Anyways, so yeah, we're back after a pedestrian was walking by, because we're, of course, recording this audio outside. We're not allowed to go to each other's houses.
Look
What
like
now?
weirdos, like lunatics talking into a little like box.
Tascam, the Euro 5X. Who fucking cares what kind of thing we're recording this with? We're not technicians. Anyways, yo.
Right. So
Talking about the entertainment value and memorability of this film.
honestly, you were saying that this isn't really a movie for the casual moviegoer. I disagree, because there's a lot of memorability and there's a lot of entertainment. The movie goes by pretty fast. It's not the longest movie ever. I forgot the runtime. But
It's an hour and a half. It's good for
feels
normal
very short.
people, but I'm saying the majority, it's not structured like a normal movie, and it's very thematic. There is a lot of entertainment value, memorable moments, but
What's the theme? Tell me what the theme is if it's so thematic, Mike.
Fuck you.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. Anyone can enjoy it, just like Uncut Gems, Like, there's a lot to
Yeah.
dissect in it. But it's also just a fun movie to watch.
Word.
Like, it's not supposed to be a comedy. It's dark comedy at best, but, like, you can just laugh watching it because it's funny.
Yes, you're laughing at everybody in the movie.
But you can also, if you look deeper into it, because, you're just like a movie watcher, and then you'll see how messed up this, like, society truly is, and that really helps us, like, look at it in a better light.
We only think about ourselves. I love thinking about myself. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. We on that masculinity wave. 2020 masculinity wave. Yeah, Drew said yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright.
So really, that just sums up American Psycho as a movie. It's just one of our favorite movies. It's just something that we can watch, whenever. Just Kino.
Kino. Yeah. So I think we should give this a rating. I'm gonna give it a pure Kino. Pure Kino seal of approval. You have a nice little graphic up. I'll show you the Kino seal of approval. The last thing I've given a Kino seal of approval was the film Uncut Gems. And it's one of those great movies that I just constantly rewatch. I think I've seen it about like 20 times since I watched it first in about like 2018. It's like 2 years ago. Bada boom. Yeah. Any more words, Drew Dumchus?
Not really. I'd also give it a Kino seal of approval if we're using your rating system. It's not a perfect movie. It's not the most well-crafted movie of all time, but it's a good movie. I enjoy watching it, and there's not really anything wrong with it. I don't skip any scenes. Great movie. Watch it.
I won't skip any scenes. The only flaws I'd say about the movie is in the middle it's a bit slow. And then,
that's what I'm talking about.
like the scenes with his secretary, I was a bit like, but then when you see William Dafoe, you're like, oh shit, what the fuck's gonna happen?
He's on the case. He's on the case.
Yeah, Patrick Bateman finna catch a case. Yes, sirski. So we are done. This us discussions.
Thank you for watching.
Yes. Thank you for watching.
Yes.
Yes. And also check any other videos out on the channel. I've been trying to diversify the content and provide any possible way of entertainment to you lucky motherfuckers who actually get to watch my channel and know about my shit. So, in road to 1,000 subscribers, we're gonna do a Patreon and sell some merch when I get to 1,000 subscribers, and you're gonna be wearing HASSCast and HASSDiscussions, all these motherfucking logos on your shirt. Put that shit on your leggings. Give it, I don't know.
Hey, can I get one more word in?
Can I sell some HASSCast condoms?
Okay, yeah. All right, I gotta say something. Free to guys.
Free the guys. We're gonna show a picture of Evan Kunkel. Free him.
Free.
Elijah.
Jamie, can we get a picture of Evan Kunkel?
Hey Jamie. Hey Jamie, pull it up. Pull it up, Jamie. Pull it up, Jamie. Yeah.
All right.
This is our nice little podcast discussion of American Psycho.